Hey guys, what's going on? Beefut Outdoors here, Beefut here. Gonna paint a bluegill crankbait, a square bill. Save you the trouble of base painting it white and taping it off, so we'll just get right into it. I'm gonna start with some pearl white, thin it down a little bit. I think during this process I put 2 coats on it, heat set in between with a hair dryer, but it provides a nice base. It's got a little glitter, a little more than normal white. Finished up with the pearl white. I'm going to go with a green now, very simple, kind of a bright grass green. I'm going to work from the nose about halfway back and try not to shoot directly on the sides. I kind of want to let it fall a little bit down the sides, which I do with a lot of the painting I do on this bait. I don't want the sides to get shot hard with a color, because fish, you know, bait fish at least, you know, there's always a fade to the color from dark to light from the top of the back down to the sides. So gonna switch it up now. Gonna put a little yellow. I think this is just a standard Createx yellow. I'm gonna start from the tail up to about the middle, kind of meet the green. Again, not really on the sides, mostly on the back, and kind of angle it a little bit and let it fall down the sides a little bit. No more than I would say about halfway down the bait. Here I've loaded up some Wicked Colors Moss Green. Very good color. Use it all the time on my largemouth bass baits. Just kind of darken up in the same way I shot the first green, but I'm just going to darken it up a little bit. Give it a little more earthy kind of look to it. A lot of the paints that I've used already, the grass green and the yellow, they're really kind of cartoony for what you would think a bait is, but we're gonna soften them up here in just a little bit. Glitter ribbon, fancy stuff that may be on a gal's dress or the bottom of a fancy shirt. I bought this stuff at Joann's Fabric. I probably got enough to cover almost a basketball for $1, but it gives a nice random kind of a marbly pattern, not too symmetrical. And I'm just using some clips. You want to keep it tight or else your airbrush paint can go underneath it. But what we're going to do now is we're going to shoot some Dollaroni Sepia ink. There we go. There's the ink. Over the top of it, we're going to create what I should say is a negative. And I do have to give a lot of props. LureMeIn.com. He's got a YouTube channel. I saw him do this pattern. All props go to him. I guess imitation is the sincerest form of flattery, and I really like the way his bait came out, so I decided to try one with a little bit different colors and kind of do it my way. But again, the basis is on him, and all props go to him. But again, I'm going to shoot from the back down, kind of let the ink, which is pretty thin, just let it fade over, and it really tones down those cartoonish colors that I was using in the beginning and makes them a lot more earthy. And you may not see it, but I heat set in between all coats. Alright, I've pulled off the glitter ribbon. Got a kind of a nice pattern going on, but I don't want that pattern on the back. So I'm going to go back with the Sepia ink. And I'm going to darken the back down a little bit. Actually, quite a bit. Again, I don't want that pattern on the back, but I'm going to go, I'm going to shoot down and kind of fade over the sides a little bit. And take some of the pattern out of the back because, you know, as we all know, very few fish have a distinct pattern on their back. I'm going to take that a step farther. What I've done is I've taken some opaque black and I've thinned it out a lot. So I'm going to really try and get rid of that pattern on the back. I'm going to shoot around the eyes a little bit with some real thin black. I always think it makes the eyes pop a little bit more. Again, heat setting in between everything. The last thing in the world you want is a run. Especially, you know, 7/10 of the way through shooting a bait. This is a template I made for doing flames, and what I'm going to do now is, because the bait's kind of dark, especially up around the eyes, I can't shoot the Laguna Blue right on top of the sepia and the moss green paint. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm just going to shade in a little bit of white to give the light blue of the bluegill gill a little something to pop. I've done it before without putting white down first, and the blue on the bluegill is barely noticeable. And as you see here now, I am drying the template, because when I flip it over and use the same side, if there's any wet paint, it's going to get on that side of the bait, which you see I did now and just had to knock a tiny piece off. But when you go from one side to the other, definitely heat set your templates, or even clean them. You can take your thumb and rub most of that airbrush paint right off. I don't know if I show it, but I do white, and then I come back over with the it's kind of a baby blue. Now I'm coming back with the blue. I don't show every particular step of this because the video would end up being 25 minutes long. But hopefully if someone wants to do this pattern, they can just kind of follow along. It's certainly not rocket science, but so the bottom of the bait's completely white. I grab a burnt yellow and kind of hit up the throat area, just darken it in. All right, for the lateral, I guess you would call them vertical stripes. I get this funky comb. I load back up some more of that sepia ink, and there you go. What you see is what you get. Obviously, don't spray it on the blue of the bluegill, but I just kind of hold it up, and I'm not too direct about it. I kind of fade it a little bit fast, because I don't want a, you know, straight line on it. It's actually the lines are a little wide, they're a little fuzzy, and that's kind of what I wanted. Just gonna kiss the back a little bit with some sepia. I've got it loaded in the gun. It's not a direct color, it's a really indirect color, but definitely has its uses. Alright, my cheap 99-cent, 1,000 paintbrushes from Walmart. I put a drop of white, I put a drop of black. I'm gonna make the little ear marking behind the gill. So I just dip the hard end in the white, and I tap it off a little bit because the actual end of the paintbrush will gather a little more paint than I want. I do this trick a lot when I make a baby bass lure. After I've shot it all green, I'll go ahead and drop a drop of black, and I will just make that kind of lateral pattern on the bass, horizontal pattern, excuse me. Just kind of dot it down the sides, and it comes out pretty good. Heat set. As my aluminum foil flies all around. And here I come in with the black. Lure Me In that I watched actually takes a bit of like a blood red color, which looks really cool. He actually doesn't do it this way. He uses a template to do the ear, is what I believe it is. I just kind of do it like this, and my ear spots were kind of small, so I didn't end up putting any red on it. But actually, I think the red would make it look cool. Maybe next time. All right, now it's starting to look like a bait when you put the eyes on. I switched from Envirotech Light to KBS Diamond Coat, and I couldn't tell you how happy I am. I don't like two-part epoxies. I live in Central Florida where the humidity is basically Vietnam every day, and obviously you cannot do this stuff inside a condo. It will stink the whole place up. This stuff is fantastic. Pricey, I think I spent 40 bucks a pint on it. But it is not tacky, it's very thin, and it dries hard as glass. The only trick to it, and I learned this from watching someone else do it, you'll probably see me here in a second, add another paper clip to the bottom hook eye, because if you don't, all of the diamond coat will dry up on the hook eye. With that paper clip, it actually draws it away. And there you have it, bluegill style.